Good morning students. Today we are going to study our new chapter of class 9's NCERT chapter number 4, structure of atom. In this chapter we will study about brief explanation of atoms. So we will start our chapter. First, what is atom? We all know atom is the smallest particle of a matter. So we are going to study the subatomic particles of atoms in this chapter, how it will be discovered and who was discovered the subparticles of atoms. So we are going to study in this chapter about the subparticles of atoms. The subparticles of atoms are electrons, protons and neutrons. These are the three subparticles of atoms. In that, proton and nucleus are present in nucleus of the atom. Means atom have one nucleus. In that, proton and neutron will be bonded, and outside the nucleus electron is moving freely. So first, discovery of electron. Who was discovered electron? J.J. Thomson. J.J. Thomson was a scientist who discovered electron. Then who discovered proton? E. Goldstein, who discovered proton. Discovery of neutron by James Chadwick. So these are the scientists who discovered the subatomic particles of an atom. Now first, how electron will be discovered and how the subatomic particles of the atoms will be discovered. There are so many models that is related, that is given, and it was we tried to prove that the subatomic particles of an atom. In that, our first model was Thomson atomic model. This model is often called the watermelon model. Means the another name of Thomson atomic model is watermelon model. Why it was name given as watermelon model? Because the assumptions that was taken to discover the subatomic particles of an atom, it was taken, and it was the example that is given is watermelon. What we will study here? First, Thomson will explain us that take a watermelon. When we are seeing the watermelon, the whole structure of watermelon is like the red part is, the whole part will be red, and the seeds, the black part, the seeds will be embedded in the watermelon, the red part. So Thomson said that the red portion of the watermelon is a proton, and the seed embedded in the watermelon, that is our electron. So like this, to given the example of watermelon, Thomson tried to explain the atomic model. That's why it was, another name was watermelon model. So in this model, Thomson predicted the presence of electrons inside positive sphere made up of proton, just same as seed of watermelons are embedded in red edible part of watermelon. Right now I told you that the red portion, that is the edible portion of watermelon, is a proton, and in that the seed is embedded in the watermelon, that is electron. So Thomson tried to predict that the whole sphere will be proton, and in that electrons will be some places embedded like that. So but when Rutherford comes and give their atomic model, so it was cleared that the Thomson's assumption was totally wrong. Why? So we will study when Rutherford atomic model, then we clearly understand what was the wrong portion and what was the wrong explanation of Thomson. But Thomson gave us the idea of subatomic particles present in atoms. So Rutherford continue the atomic models theory, and he comes with their new theory. So for gave us the explanation of the atomic model, he will also do some experiment. In that experiment, Rutherford taken alpha particles, means alpha ray. What is alpha ray? Double charged helium atom. Double charged helium atom. It was heavy. That's why for this experiment Rutherford taken alpha ray and scattering experiment. What was the name of the atomic models experiment? Alpha ray scattering experiment. I will give you first some summary of this experiment, then you are clearly understand what was the experiment. So Rutherford taken some alpha particles. What is alpha particles? Double charged helium atom. Then he will taken a discharge tube. So gold fuel. From that he will pass the alpha particles to strike the gold fuel. So the observation and the conclusion will become, we are going to discuss. See here, Rutherford, in this famous alpha ray scattering experiment, Rutherford bombarded alpha ray upon the gold foil. Means Rutherford will be pass the alpha ray towards the gold foil, then the alpha ray will be strike the gold foil. So Rutherford made following observations from this experiment. What was the observation of Rutherford? He will see that most of the alpha particle passed through gold foil undeflected. Means when we are throwing a ball towards the wall, what happens? The ball goes and strike the wall and then come back, it will deflected. But when Rutherford passed the alpha ray to strike the gold foil, most of the alpha ray will be passed, means they doesn't deflected. This was the first observation of Rutherford. Second, some of the alpha particles deflected by fuel by small angles, means when he will pass the alpha particles, mostly the alpha rays will be passed through the gold foil without deflection, but some rays will be deflected by small angles. Means in gold foil there were in a whole atom some places will fill with charged particles. 1 out of every 12,000 particles appeared to be rebound. Means all the rays, when alpha rays will be passed, mostly all the rays will be passed through the gold foil. Some will be deflected with a small angle, but in every 12,000 alpha rays, one will be rebound. What is mean by rebound? It will be deflected at a 90 degree. Means if it will go straight, then it will strike with that particles that was in atoms of a gold foil and rebound it. In every 12,000 atoms, one out of every 12,000 particles. So these were the observations that will Rutherford seen in their experiment. Now second, so from this observation, Rutherford's draw following conclusion. Means it will seen this was been happen in this experiment. So from this observation he says he gave us some conclusion. What was the conclusion? Atoms consist of predominantly empty space, as most of alpha particles passed through gold foil undeflected. So what was the first observation? Most of the alpha particle passed through gold foil. So from this observation Rutherford will be conclude that most of the space in the atoms will be empty. Second, atoms contain centrally placed positively charged nucleus, carry positive charged particles. And from the third observation, 1 out of every 12,000 particles appeared to be rebound. He conclude that in the center of the atom there will be a heavy mass positively charged particles will be present. So that's why it will be rebound in 1 out of every 12,000 particles. And because alpha particles suffer deflected and very few 1 in 12,000 bounced back. From this 1 out of 12,000 alpha particles, where one will be rebound, from that he will conclude that in the center of the atom there is a heavy particle present. Whole of the atomic mass concentrated in the nucleus. So the mass of the atoms, total mass of the atoms that have, it was totally depends on the mass of the particles that are present in the center is totally, the mass of the atom is equal to the totally mass of the atom. So these are the three conclusions that was given by the observation of experiment by the Rutherford. On the basis of this experiment, Rutherford proposed model of atom having following features. So by the observation and by the conclusion, Rutherford give us some features about model of an atom. What was the features? There is positively placed nucleus in an atom. Nearly all the mass resides in nucleus, proton plus neutron. Means Rutherford told us, he gave us that the total mass of the atom is equal to the mass of the nucleus, and the mass of the in the nucleus that is totally positively charged will be present. Second, electrons revolve around the nucleus in well defined orbit. Means when the alpha rays will be passed through the gold foil, some are deflected on the small angles. So from that observation, he give us features that the particles from where the alpha rays will be deflected, that was electron. So electrons will be revolving around the nucleus in the atom in a spatial orbit. Size of a nucleus is very small compared to the size of the atom, and the size of the atom will be so big compared to the size of the nucleus. Means the nucleus size will be very small than the size of the atom. But in this experiment also have some drawbacks, some limitations. What was the drawbacks of this? Instability of an atom. Means when anything is revolving around the nucleus, means electrons are revolving around the nucleus, then why it doesn't strike with nucleus? So this was the drawback. According to Rutherford, electrons revolve around the nucleus in well defined orbits, but electrons being charged particle will lose their energy and finally will fall into the nucleus. This will make atoms highly unstable. This was the major drawback of Rutherford, which was explained by him. Means what was the drawback? I give you some example. When you tie a rope with a stone, and when you are centrally, means when we are rotating the rope that was tied with the stone, so when we will stop, when we will lose the energy of that rope, it will comes and it will strike with our hand after some time. So the drawbacks was also that if Rutherford said that electrons are continuously moving, so after some time it will lose their energy, then why it is not striking with nucleus? So this was the drawback, and for these drawbacks comes another scientist, Niels Bohr, come and explain electrons are moving in a spatial orbit like planets are revolving around the sun in a spatial orbit. So we will study this another topic of Niels Bohr atomic model to explain the drawback of the Rutherford model in our next video. Thank you.